What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about buying a half-price Ford Mustang. So you're in the market for a Ford Mustang, and specifically the GT Premium. So if you're looking for a 2021 right now, they have a base price right around $45,000. So for half price, can you still get the same performance and the same amount of fun with a half-price Ford Mustang? So we're going to check that out today. Huge shout out to Champion Car Company for providing this car for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they have a huge selection of awesome used inventory, so definitely check them out. So the model that you see behind me, this is a 2014 GT Premium, but the biggest difference is we're going to start off up underneath the hood with performance. So this still has a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. It produces 420 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. The 21 models are going to produce 460 and 420 pound-feet of torque. So a little bit more. You could easily fix that with a tune or even throwing a supercharger on this and still not have all that much money into the car itself. So buying one at half price, putting a few $1,000s in mods into it, you can still get an enjoyable vehicle. This has the 6-speed manual transmission, and from what I found, 0 to 60 is right around 4.7 seconds. On the 21 models, it's going to be closer to 4.4, 4.3, and of course that depends on your driver with the 6-speed manual, traction that you can get from the rear wheels, as this is a rear-wheel drive sports car. And then top speed is right around 135 versus 155 on the 21 models. Not really a concern since you can't use that out on the road. As we work our way to the exterior differences now for the Mustang GT Premium, I'm going to put up some clips of a 2021 so that way you can see a good before and after, or the differences between these years. The biggest thing that I want to start off with is the fact that the fog lights are integrated into the grille on this 2014. Of course, we still have the Pony logo right in the center, a lot of mesh in the lower section to provide maximum cooling for that V8 engine. You'll also notice too that the headlights are much different. They have a way different shape to them, a little bit more squared off than on the 2021 year model. And you'll also notice too on the 21s they have the DRLs, which give it a really cool look. So of course it's much more modernized than the 2014, but this still has a great look to it. We have the bumper running right through the middle to divide the upper grille and the lower mesh there, but I think the fog lights in the grille is a really cool iconic design. So you still get a great looking front end. It doesn't really look all that dated compared to the 21, but of course you can see a lot more of the modernized design. Up on the hood too, this model also has functional heat extraction vents, so that's very nice to see. And then as we work our way to the side, we have the 18-inch wheels, have a really nice design to them. They haven't really aged much compared to the newer models. We have that 5.0 badge. There is no integrated turn signal on the side mirrors. They are body colored though, which gives it a really nice design, and I love the lines that run right through the door handle and in the lower side skirt there. So it still has that great Mustang design to it. And we do have the upgraded taillights. They are not sequential. I'm sure that's a mod that you could do to them, but they still have a really nice look to them. Still LED, of course, with the 3 individual lights there, so that's a great touch to see. We also have an aftermarket backup camera, of course the dual exhaust. So the rear end definitely has more of a similar look to it compared to the 2021, which is great to see. We have a small trunk mounted spoiler, but now let's go ahead and work our way to the interior here, where you'll see we have basic switches on the door panel. This is more of a driver focused car. We have 3 pedals, the stick shift of course, and everything that you need without going overboard. You could say that on the 2021 year models have a little bit more than you might need, but we have the window switches of course, the release handle, speaker for the sound system. Really nice upgrade for the Recaro seats. So these are cloth. They have the cutouts in the top of them to give it that cool race inspired look, and really good bolstering support to them. So let's go ahead, work our way to the interior here, where the seats are manual adjusting, so I can just grab that bar underneath to move them forwards and backwards of course. This model does have an aftermarket radio. We have climates, a couple gauges. So let's go ahead with the key. We'll turn on the electronics so we can view all of this. It is a turn key versus the push start, if that's something that is a concern for you, but you can get the turn key. It gives you a little bit more of that driver engagement there. So you can see radio. If I push on the climate button, now we can pull up all of the climates. It does make it a little bit more modern to have this touchscreen system. But what I really like is pushing on these gauges here. So you can see your RPM, your fuel percentage, as well as your miles per hour, your instant MPG. This also does have navigation, which of course you can add if you need to. And we have a small screen that is stock just above that. You'll notice the 12 volt right in the center. We have the air vents, glove box of course, the 6-speed manual transmission, which will be fun to drive. You can also turn off traction control if you wanted to, and we have the trunk release there. A little bit of storage space in the middle, and we do have some kind of remote. I believe that's for the aftermarket system, and a few auxiliaries if you need it. So it has everything that you need, like I mentioned earlier, without going overboard. Let's go ahead and work our way to the back seats though, because the Ford Mustang is a 2+2. I guess technically you could say that. And then we just need to figure out the latch in the back there to move the seat forward. You could fit a full-size adult back here. So I'm 5'10", and my head is just above the glass here, just touching the glass. So it's comfortable if you need to put full-size adults in the back. And as we work our way out gracefully there, we can pop the trunk there, put the seat back in its position. This is a very roomy vehicle. You can see just how much space is in the back, nice flat surface, kind of the same as the 2021 year model. It's definitely great to have this amount of storage space for a two-door vehicle like this. It makes it a very practical daily if this is your only vehicle. Okay, so as you saw earlier, turn key, of course, we will insert that with my foot on the clutch and the brake. It is time to start this up. We have it in neutral there. Just need to adjust my seat. As you already heard there, the chime is similar as the newer models. So of course that hasn't changed much over the years. Put it into first gear here. Now, one thing that right off the bat that I want to mention is on the newer models, you do get the rev matching in the manual. So on the 2014 here, you do not have that, which just adds a little bit more to how a driver focused this car is and having to basically do all of that yourself, which is really nice. So it makes you kind of learn the vehicle. You need to learn how to rev match and what gear you're in and everything like that. All right, so pulling out into traffic, I should say. We'll let it warm up just a little bit. I have been able to drive a few of the 2021 models for the Ford Mustang, and it's kind of hard. It's been a while since I've been behind the wheel of them, but it is hard to tell the difference between the clutch feel and the shifter here, but it is driving very smooth so far. As we come up to these train tracks here, can rev match on these downshifts. It's very easy to do. I like the pedal placement too. We have the clutch and the brake, which aren't that far apart, but I can easily heel toe with the gas and the brake. So that is nice to see. And this sounds really good for that 5-liter V8. We're gonna play with these gears here since we're in some traffic, so that way we can really hear it. Trying to get used to that clutch there. It sounds really good. I like that it doesn't have the digital display that the newer models have. It has what you need: your speedometer, you have your tach, fuel gauge, and engine temperature right in the middle, so you can easily monitor all of that. And that's basically all you need in a vehicle like this. You have a lot of horsepower for a rear-wheel drive vehicle. And a few pops in that exhaust, but this is truly a driver-focused car. There's not a whole lot of tech in it. It has that aftermarket backup camera. It definitely sounds good. It might not be as loud as the newer model, but it's a nice interior. It's very comfortable. Mustangs, as we see, a very beautiful yellow. Wow, I don't see too many yellow Mustangs, so that was pretty cool to see. But as you can see, that is a newer model there. Hopefully the camera could pick that up. We do have this truck in front of us, so we can play a little bit more with these gears here. But it's a very nice vehicle to be behind the wheel of. I haven't been in too many of the older Mustangs like this. It's very quiet on the inside. It's actually driving incredibly well. It's very smooth. And steering response, I know I'm on a straight road here, but even just giving it a little bit in the steering wheel there. Oh, okay. That's one thing with a manual too. You do have to drive the car, get into the right gear, and not do things like that. I am familiar with a manual, but you know what happens sometimes. But yeah, it's a very smooth driving vehicle, and I love how quiet it is too. It's got a good exhaust note to it for sure. And unfortunately, we might be following this guy because there's a little bit of a road here that we can take. But what do you guys think? Can you buy a half-price Ford Mustang and still get the same enjoyment? To me, I think you can. We got plenty of power to pass this guy here. Woo! And it's very manageable for rear-wheel drive. I know on the Mustangs, they are known for, you know, getting sideways and hitting crowds and things like that. I'm not in a Mustang too often, but if you can manage the rear-wheel drive and be smart in your driving, this is definitely a fun car. You could take it out on some back mountain roads. I know Mustangs are kind of known for being drag cars, you know, going in a straight line, not really having that back roads or twisty performance. But I think you could get this out on some back mountain roads. It does have a good bit of weight to it. I'm not going to be able to go out on any twisty roads in today's video, but we're going to do a quick U-turn here, kind of see how it does on a turn. Boy, this does sound so good as we get up to 6th gear there. But this could be a fun, basically daily driver. You could do some mods to this vehicle if you wanted to and still not break the bank with what you want to put into this. So for less than half the price, you do have some more miles on it. You might be your own warranty for this vehicle. So if you're looking for an older vehicle, maybe something somewhat of a project car, you could say, not to say that 100,000 on this is bad. It's still going to be a reliable vehicle, but you have some budgeting in putting some mods into this, so you're not spending that $45,000. You can put a few grand into this and basically beat the 2021 model. So if you're looking to get more horsepower, even if you're not, you're spending half the money. If you can live with, you know, putting in an aftermarket sound system or having that aftermarket screen, I should say, and you still have everything. We have the climates, the radio, everything like that. I believe this has Bluetooth. We still have that on the steering wheel here, along with cruise control, of course. It's definitely a good bargain for the money. So we're going to give it one last acceleration here as we wait for this truck. Okay, we're good. We'll get up to the speed limit here just fine. Woo! And I'm not even getting close to redline. I'm playing around 5,500 RPM there. It redlines closer to 7, so you don't even have to worry about ringing this out to get up to the speed limit. With that 5-liter V8, this is definitely a quick vehicle. So that was 3rd gear there, and we just got up and pull just like that. So it is a fun vehicle. It's a practical daily driver. As you saw, I could fit in those back seats there. So if you needed to put 3 other people in here, you have plenty of room in that trunk space too. So it's a great daily driver. If you're not looking to break the bank, you can buy a half-price Mustang and still have fun, still have that exterior look. I love how on the 2014, it does have those upgraded taillights, the 3D dimension to it. Maybe not as crisp as on the 2021 models, but you could add the sequential turn signals to these ones if you wanted to, just to give it more of that modern look. All right, we're down to 2nd gear, taking this turn here. Woo! And as on the gas as much as I could with this truck in front of us, but that felt like it was pretty solid, pretty planted. I'm sure the back end might get out if you really mash the gas, but that would be similar on any rear-wheel drive vehicle, to be honest. But yeah, half-price Mustang. This is fun to drive. I think for me, personally, getting the manual transmission is really what puts a smile on my face. So it doesn't necessarily affect me with the year of the model. Driving a manual 2014 versus a manual 2021, you still have that driver-focused engagement with the 3 pedals and the shifter. And to me, that's basically all you need to have fun in a vehicle. Now, you could get this in an automatic transmission. I would argue against getting that unless you really don't drive a manual, or you're just looking for a fun sports car and you're not into driving a manual transmission. But to me, that just adds the fun, exciting factor of getting behind the wheel of basically any car, really, controlling these gears and just having fun with it on these rev matching downshifts. Ooh, it's a fun car to drive. But I think that's going to wrap it up. Comment down below if you think buying a half-price Ford Mustang is the way to go. Once again, check out Champion Car Company. They are providing this car for me today. They have a huge selection of pre-owned inventory, so definitely check them out. If you enjoyed this video and today's review on the Ford Mustang, give it a huge thumbs up. That is a nice classic right there. Consider subscribing to our channel so that way you don't miss out on our daily videos. We'll see you guys in the next video.